And we are underway in Buffalo. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Phillies offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. They go play action with Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards. Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Taron Johnson made the stop. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Terrell Bernard getting in there to drop him for a sack.
Well, talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They'd been moving the ball well. Drive had started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it as we resume action. Elliott now to kick this one away. Gets past one man. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Looking to put a drive together. Allen going to throw. Shakir hauls it in. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the middle with Cook. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now they need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Throwing now is Allen. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. There he goes right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Josh Palmer, 58 yards. And the Bills are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. 3rd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. Play action. Now it's Allen. It's caught left side by Cooks. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 2nd down. A final shot before half for Allen. There again is Cooks, complete. So we are deadlocked at the break here, and the EA Sports Halftime Report starts now. Here's Scott Hansen.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen here with an abridged version of the halftime report. Both offenses still trying to find their way. Tight competitive game, though, as we are tied at the half. To find out who will come out on top, let's rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now Allen has his man. It's Shakir. Through the middle of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 72 yards. And the Bills come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation in a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second down and 4. It's Barkley on the counter. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. From the 22 now, here's 2nd and a yard. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Out left to Dotson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
They're going to look to throw. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Elliott on for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off by a receiving touchdown from Saquon Barkley. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. A beautiful fake. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Here's Allen. Into the hands of Cooks. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3. Now Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing, Allen. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jihad Campbell. And the Eagles are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Here's first down. Here's Hurts to throw. That one complete out to Dotson.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Second and 6 coming up. Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Final minute, one timeout remaining. First and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here comes second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
This Buffalo crowd letting them have it. Third down now. Back to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 19.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Eagles are going to win the football game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Throwing is Hurts. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Brown goes in motion left. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
A very solid gain of 27.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating.
That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. That time, a 9-play drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Baker going to give it to Irving. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. They go play action. Mayfield. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A run up the middle with Irving. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. 2 minutes on the clock. Second quarter. 7-0 ball game. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. This is caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin from 3 yards out. And the Bucs are an extra point away from evening this one up. But down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. He's got room at the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Second down and a yard. They'll look to throw again. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. They'll throw now on the final play. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jahan Dotson, as time expires in the first half. And the Eagles have taken the lead on the final play of the first half. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7.
All right, Brandon.
Well, no sooner do the teams get to the locker rooms, and they're running right back out. Halftime over, third quarter, ready to go. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. So no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. It's taken to the 26. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Here's Hurts to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 33. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Hitting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside, nowhere to go on the quarterback sneak. Now it's going to bring up 4th down.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run here with Dillon. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score in this game.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It's a gain of 34.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, he's got Ibuka. That's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Here's Mayfield. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Eagles are going to get the football back at their own 17. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
I had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Hurts. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Bigsby. And he stopped immediately there. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. They work now on 2nd and 9. Play action. Here's Hurts. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run the option on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Dances by him. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back, because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
To throw, Mayfield. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Play fake, Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Play action. Now Purdy. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Second and a couple. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to have a Niners first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Back to throw, Purdy. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a fourth down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on the national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On the sneak. Now the ball comes loose. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. Back deep for the Niners, Sky Moore. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. First and 10. In there to drop it for the loss, linebacker Nakobe Dean. An outstanding play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it second down and 12. Now Purdy. That's caught out right by Jennings. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now 3rd down and 7. Purdy. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Throwing is Hurts. Now he'll tuck this and run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Dotson in motion right. Hurts. This pass hauled in by Dotson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, they were looking to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead it 7-zip. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Jennings, a receiver in motion right. And now a fake on the jet sweep, and instead they'll give it to McCaffrey. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Brought down that time by Nolan Smith.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Final play of the half. Purdy. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Scott Hansen and crew thrilled to be with you from the Orlando studios at EA Sports, and we'll keep this one short and sweet. Just one touchdown on the board so far, 7-0 at the half. Will the offenses pick it back up? To find out, let's rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Up the middle with Barkley. A little juke. Down to the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground. And he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Purdy now to throw. This is Jennings. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Going for the deep ball. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Here's Hurts to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Now Hurts is going to do it himself, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Second down and 8. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator, and they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter, and I don't see them looking back.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Open man, the former Gator. It's Ricky Pearsall. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 yards there on the first down pickup. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Purdy looking to throw. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run good for 24 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Here's Purdy. And this is caught inside the 5. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Ricky Pearsall, 40 yards. And the Niners are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So Purdy and the Niners down by 2 touchdowns, 2:06 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Throwing here, Purdy. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They come up now on 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Purdy. That one caught by Tonjes.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
1 timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
That's complete to Pearsall. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
This is 1st and 10. Purdy to throw. Pass caught by Pearsall. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Purdy.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down. To throw is Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing, Purdy. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Here's 1st and 10. Purdy to throw. To the sideline and incomplete.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
From the 17, they work on 2nd and 10. Here's Purdy to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game,
defenses control the first half, but when will we see some points? Hopefully soon, as this 3rd quarter begins. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. This team's offense looking to get back to work as we begin this 3rd quarter. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. The 3rd quarter begins with a run, and he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. To the left side, caught by Gronk. And he will score. Rob Gronkowski. Touchdown.
When you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their 2nd possession.
So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. LeJohntay Wester now to return it. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense ready for their first possession of this 2nd half. They're still in search for their first points in this one, but only trailing 6-0. And this drive will begin with a 1st down. They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. And good hard running there. He'll push his way forward. Gain of about 5. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. And the defense comes away with a turnover. How about the defense getting to the quarterback, getting access to the ball, knocking it free, and coming up with the recovery?
I'd like to see the quarterback just be a little more secure with the ball, Mike. You can see he's just a little loose, especially when you're operating from the pocket. But give credit to the defender. Nice job attacking the ball, knocking it loose and recovering it, and that is a big takeaway here by this defense.
So now this team's offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Oh, he couldn't set his feet, but he completes it anyway. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the 1st down.
And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. 2nd and 7. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he will get into the end zone. Warwick Dunn for the touchdown.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike, and you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched, and an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
The offense will stay out there as they will line up and go for 2. Now they'll set up to throw. That's going to be caught. So add a couple more points, and they add to their lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This fielded at about the 9. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with 1st and 10. He bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down. The former All-Pro Jalen Ramsey coming off the corner blitz to bring him down. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. Williams to throw on 2nd down. That's caught right side. It's Freiermuth. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. That's complete. He's got it to London. 17 yards on that play. 1st down, Vegas.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
He'll complete that to his fullback. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9. An enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Here's a handoff to Gibbs. And he will keep the drive moving. Gets the first down. Nice gain of 5.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
Man in motion, heading right. Here's Williams on 1st and 10. That's going to be incomplete, and the clock will stop. Likely one more play in this 3rd quarter. They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. Here's Williams now to throw. Throwing off his back foot, and it's taken in. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. Third down and 9. Working out of the gun. Here's Williams. That's going to be caught. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker. Now he'll air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. They had to take that chance, trailing here in the 4th. But they will turn it over on downs. This team's offense headed back to take over once more. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. This drive will start on the ground. He's beyond midfield to the 45. And he will go all the way. Work done for the score. He's got another one. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. This is caught. He's got it. And they tack 2 more onto their lead.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success, throw it up to him, and let him do the rest.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense ready to take over once again. They trail here late, hoping to put something, anything on the board before they get out of here. Going to start this drive, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. On 2nd down, it's Williams. Oh, no chance there. Under a heavy rush, he goes down. Third and long. Here's Williams. And that is incomplete. Jalen Naylor was the intended receiver that time. And it's going to bring up 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Williams. That to the sideline and intercepted. Picked off by Dante Jackson. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Now a handoff, running right. Good running inside the 25. And he will score again. Warwick Dunn has a touchdown. He has come alive after the break. His 3rd touchdown of the second half. And make it a hat trick. That is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. A big reason his team is on top.
And so far, Mike, this run game has been the difference, and we're going to see in the second half. Now, can they protect this lead? Because, Mike, that's where a run game has its most value, and so far, this guy's been incredible.
The offense staying put. They will go for 2. They're going to try to run it in. And he finds his way to the end zone again. Scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend the lead.
You just have to find a way defensively to step up there and get a stop. It's one thing to give up 6. You allow a touchdown. But now dig deep, man. Get a stop. Looked like there was some confusion, and offense is going to come away with 8.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Wester now to return it. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. And that's where the offense will take the field. The Raiders offense back onto the field for their next possession. They trail here late, hoping to put something, anything on the board before they get out of here. Going to start this drive, 1st and 10. Fires quickly. It is complete on the slant. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
Now Gibbs. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense, just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing, and another loss of yards.
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and
that's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Kalen Bullock. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
And that should be the final dagger in this one. I mean, barring something dramatic happening here, Mike, I just don't think there's enough time or possessions left in this game to pull off any sort of comeback.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a give up the middle. And he's going to have the 1st down. And that will not officially end it, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to be able to run the clock down from here.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it. You know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
Open space inside the 10. And this is going to be a touchdown. They are going to extend the lead here in the final minute of play. We might need a calculator before this one is done. It has been one-sided, and the route rolls on, Greg.
Absolutely, Mike, and they just keep piling on the points. I mean, this offensive play caller, he's saying it's never enough. I'm going to try to score with every possession, and we've seen him do that all game long.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. Going to return this from the 10. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Raiders offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll start out first down and 10. London brought in motion. On first and 10, it's Williams. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
High throw, but it's reeled in. And he's going to be marked down up around the 33. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. That'll be incomplete. And now we are down to likely just one more play.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
In motion, Naylor. Williams hit, and he loses the football. And this will be recovered by the defense on the final play. Kind of a fitting end to this one. This game is over.
Banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills. We're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, a highly anticipated contest between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Tyler Bass to get this one started. And we're off and running at Paycor Stadium. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is first and 10. Off the play fake, Burrow. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play.
Kate, we're one snap in, and already this defense has potentially killed this opening drive. And remember how valuable every possession is in the NFL. Talk about setting an immediate tone by this defense.
Burrow from the gun. They're on him again, and he goes down again. And back-to-back takedowns behind the line of scrimmage set him up now with third down.
Well, we're already seeing his legs going to be a factor in this contest. But I'll tell you what, Kate, if pressure's going to be on him like that, he's going to have to put his running back cape on and really use his ability to escape and keep things moving forward.
Well, I am flipping through, Brock. That certainly wasn't in the offense's opening script, but if you're a defender, just how you wrote it up.
Yeah, defensively, that was a week of practice and planning visualized and executed in real time.
So on fourth down, Bengals calling on Ryan Rico for the punt. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one, headed for the sideline. So this one not hit the way he wanted there. They're going to say it went out short of the 40. We've set it downs from 37. Allen taken right to the air. His first throw is an interception. Picked off by Dax Hill. Well, for their sake, partner, I sure hope the rest of their pass attempts this game go a whole lot better than that, because it is pretty clear this defense came to play.
And I can promise you this, Kate, nowhere on that opening script does the word interception ever appear. You never want to see an INT. Now they're going to have to flush it. That's the key here for this quarterback in the offense. Got to flush that mistake and press on ahead.
Gave away a couple on the first down run. Now it's going to be 2nd and 12. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
There's no question, Kate, that the big plays down the seam or will make tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, it gets good coverage, contested catches that really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. Fourth down coming up.
If you're keeping stats, that's now 0 for 2 on keeping drives going, and hopefully not an indicator of what's to come. You know, you don't convert on third down. Not only playing against your opponents, you start playing with your own psyche as well.
And they got home, sacked him on fourth down. We've got a... Known for some incredible wings and one of the league's most passionate fan bases. We're just outside of Buffalo at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills. Here's Tyler Bass to get this one started. And we're off and running from Western New York. Blake Corum now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Motion man right is Smith. The first carry now for Kyron Williams. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. Stafford now against the blitz. That's complete. Nakua on the left side. Still going inside the 35. Touchdown, Los Angeles! The Rams take a 6-0 lead right away. It's a Puka Nacua touchdown. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically. A lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Ty Johnson now to return. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. Offense to the line. They're going to have trips right to start out. Throwing now on first down. Allen. Pass into the hands of Dalton Kincaid. And he's out of bounds. Defenders get there to drive him out right near that 40-yard line. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And that's good for a Buffalo first. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
First down throw for Allen. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Dalton Kincaid, the intended target there. And now they face second down. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Allen. Well, it would have been a big completion, Brock, if not for that meddling defender who knocked it away. And that sets up 3rd down. That's going to be something to watch as this game goes on, Brock. We know they like to take their shots throughout.
Yeah, and we know this league today, Kate, loves to play that umbrella coverage, right? Try to keep everything in front of them. The only way you're going to get behind them is to take shots like that one.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. 3rd and long. They're going to throw. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So no initial clapback, at least not immediately. Going to have to play from a deficit for at least a little while as that opening drive stalls out.
And your hope here offensively is that deficit remains unchanged when you get the ball back the next time, because you do not want to be looking 2 scores down to start this one out.
All right, here's one of our game's first big risks. The offense lining up to go for it on their own side. They are going for it. Allen galloping inside the 40. It's a race down the right side. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Buffalo. The Bills finish off their opening drive. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
So Sean McDermott keeping his offense out there. They're going for 2. Again, Allen to the air. And this is caught. And that bid for the lead works out. They're now up 8-7. Well, he just caught them the touchdown, Brock. Defense obviously aware of him as they line up for 2. How did they lose him? How did they get it right back to him for the conversion?
Because he's that good. In moments like this, Kate, it's not even about the play, it's about the player. And when you got a player of this caliber, you find every way to get it to him. And just because he scored the touchdown doesn't mean you don't go right back to that well. I love it.
Bass now to kick this away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. Good field position for the Rams as they get ready. 1st and 10. On the play fake, here's Stafford. Able to find Nakua here. 30. The 10. To the house. Touchdown, LA. The Rams take the lead on the first play of the drive. It's a Puka Nakua touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Point after by Mevis is good. And the Rams push their lead to 6. Here's Evans set to kick this away. Johnson now on the return. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. All right, Bills to the line now. 1st and 10. First and 10. Here's Allen. That's Kincaid with a catch out left. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. It's a gain of 22. And the Bills have a 1st down. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
One play in, and they are already close to midfield. On 1st down, Allen. Going right back to Kincaid, complete. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Offense to line. This is 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. Finds Kincaid. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out. And that play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest. It gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
New set of downs for them. They'll start at the 38. To throw again, it's Allen. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
To the air again, Allen. Got a lot behind this one. Downfield it goes. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Kobe Durant has it. And the Rams will get possession up towards midfield as they take the interception up beyond the
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. And when you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you that. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Here now, a 3rd and 20. To throw is Jackson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Throwing is Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, He ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Here's Hurts to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And contact defensively. And that might make things 5 yards easier. So that